So I looked it up. It was right after faced at Michigan State for the first game of the season. Oh, sorry. You're up.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Watch on this very windy Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. So it's really two things we're tracking here today. One, those strong winds. And number two, the extremely high fire danger. And that fire danger probably increases as we get into this afternoon. As dew points drop, we get less moisture in the air, and that'll also increase the amount of dry air, and that'll lead to that increased fire danger. But take a look at this. Boy, winds absolutely whipping in Fort Collins. It looks like northern Colorado. We're talking about Greeley, Fort Collins, Wellington. That's where those winds look to be the strongest later on this afternoon and right now, with those winds in around Fort Collins area around 65 miles an hour. Did have a report just a few minutes ago from Wellington of a downed carport with a 67 mile an hour wind gust out there in Wellington, far northern reaches of the state. Red flag warning for your day today. Just as a reminder what a red flag warning is, it is a fire warning. That's what it is. It is a fire warning that is in place through much of eastern Colorado and the San Luis Valley. That's because of a combination of very windy conditions and very dry conditions and fairly mild temperatures as well. High wind warning in place through basically all of eastern Colorado. High wind watch in place for parts of Lincoln as well as Elbert counties as well. That is going to be for wind gusts across much of eastern Colorado that could top 80 miles an hour. Our winds will increase in the Denver area as we head through the day. Right now, those winds, generally speaking, in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range across much of eastern Colorado. The mountains, depending on where you are, those winds are still howling. Yes, on the screen, I know we're not seeing a ton of strong winds in some of those observation sites, but we did have an 102 mile an hour wind gust up atop Peak 7 in Breckenridge today. Berthoud Pass has been regularly gusting in the 85 to 90 mile an hour range. So those winds are extremely strong in the mountains right now, and they will stay that way as we head through the remainder of your day today. Now, as I mentioned, in the Denver area, we felt some of those winds, but it hasn't been too windy yet. But those winds will kick on up as we get into the noon hour, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Those winds will continue to increase. And by about mid to late afternoon, I think around 2 to 5 or so, that's when those winds will be their strongest in the Denver area. And we could see some gusts perhaps on up into the 60 to 70 mile an hour range for us later on this afternoon. It does get drier as we get through the day as well, so that will also increase our fire danger. Now, overnight into your Wednesday morning, still pretty windy out there, but not quite as strong as what we're expecting for this afternoon. But then again, those winds will kick back up again tomorrow, and it stays windy through the rest of the week. You know what, here, folks, I wish I had better news for you. If I could make the weather, I assure you, I would not want it to be 40 to 50 mile an hour winds for days on end. The problem here is we're going to be talking about these really windy conditions for much of the remainder of the rest of the week, and perhaps this upcoming weekend as well. It doesn't look like we get any real relief from this until early next week, which means we're unfortunately going to be dealing with a lot of fire danger as we head over the course of the next 5 to 6 days or so. Wind gusts right now in around the Denver area, as I mentioned, it's not that strong yet. 26 mile an hour gusts for us at DIA, 18 in Netherland. Red Cliff Pass, you get up into the mountains and into northern Colorado. That's where those winds are pretty strong at this hour. But those winds, as I mentioned, will kick on up as we get later on this afternoon. In fact, let's go back a little bit here in time. And again, show you around 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Those winds really strong around that point. With those gusts perhaps topping 50, 60 miles an hour in around the front range. Those winds do die back overnight in your Wednesday morning before they kick back up again for your Wednesday afternoon. And we keep those winds in the foothills into your Thursday. So again, it's a prolonged windy and dry stretch. So today, mountain snow, cloudy and windy here in the Denver area with highs right around 60 degrees. And those winds, again, the big story. Yes, it'll be 59 in Denver. We've probably already reached our high temperature because we had a cold front move its way on through. But it doesn't matter when you've got a high of 59 degrees and you got 50 mile an hour winds. You won't really feel that all that much, will you? All right, winter weather advisory continues for the rest of your day into the mountains, especially for northern Colorado, where it could talk about another additional 5 inches of snow. But keep in mind, in the mountains, we're getting that snow, but also we're getting that wind, which will make travel really difficult here, folks. If you have to go over Berthoud Pass, Highway 40, Loveland Pass, those winds have been regularly gusting in the 80 to 90 mile an hour range up that way. So folks, again, if you don't have to travel through the mountains, don't do it. Don't do it today. It is going to be just nasty up there with the snow and the wind. Visibility and just especially high profile vehicles. It's just going to be plain old tough to get around in the mountains as we get through the rest of your day today. So again, it's just straight up nasty in the mountains. Good news is the snow does diminish overnight, and by your Wednesday and your Thursday, we're talking about much calmer conditions in through the mountains with just a few leftover snow showers tomorrow morning up in the mountains. Now tomorrow, here in Denver, it's much colder with a high probably below 50 degrees. Those winds still pretty strong, maybe not quite as strong as today's, but still strong enough to lead to high fire danger. And also, it looks to be a little drier for your day tomorrow. So that fire danger may only increase as we get into your day tomorrow with a high below 50 degrees. Those winds still whipping around. Again, strong enough to be talking about that fire danger with those wind gusts topping out somewhere around 40 to 50 miles an hour in Denver with some locally higher gusts. Now, those forecast highs for tomorrow, a few spots may top 50 degrees, but again, I'm not sure high temperatures really matter when you've got a 50 mile an hour wind gust because you won't feel it. It's going to feel much colder than that 49 degree high temperature here in Denver for your day tomorrow. All right, a little bit of good news to pass along, at least in terms of the fire danger, is the winds won't be as strong as what we had when we had the Marshall Fire. When we had the Marshall Fire, we were talking about gusts that in some cases were getting close to 100 miles an hour. It won't be that strong. We've had some recent moisture that is helping on out, and we do have those clouds and showers around for your day today. The problem is this is a long-lived fire danger event. And then next week we get some showers back into the picture. That should finally diminish that fire danger, but until probably Sunday, we're going to be talking about at least some level of fire danger every day through the upcoming weekend. Good news is, though, the winds die back down just in time for opening day coming up on your Friday. So if you're heading to the Rockies game on out at Coors Field on your Friday, it does look a lot better for Friday. In fact, weather will be beautiful for next Friday as well, and then it stays gorgeous into your Saturday before the winds kick back up and clouds move back in for your Sunday and into your Monday. Meteorologist Keely Chalmers has an update coming up at 9 News at noon, and Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin is in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 on the 9 News family of networks. We'll keep you posted, though, all day long here on 9 News Plus. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your day, and stay safe.